Welcome to Musings, Rants, and Guitars, Thursday, May 27th, the debut of Craving Strange's Ashes, and we have Craving Strange here with us. Welcome, guys.
Yeah!
Hey. Going on?
So good to see you.
Yeah!
These guys are old friends of ours from the show, and I am huge fans of these guys.
Yes.
Love their stuff, man. We are going to play the song, and then we expect everybody listening, and then some, to go purchase, buy, download, and do whatever they need to do. All right? So how are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing awesome, man.
I am wonderful. Thank you very much for asking. How are you, sir?
How are you guys? How are you guys doing?
I'm just making it through another day. Yeah, Tommy is actually off today. He had some stuff going on with work and stuff, so Tommy is not here.
AKA something better to do than hang out with Craving Strange.
Yeah.
There are so many. There are so many better things to do. Let's be honest.
So many things.
He was saying something about having to clip his toenails. So he was busy.
Very important. His shoes are going to be uncomfortable if he doesn't do that.
Exactly. So I got to say first, man, you guys are like cutting edge with all the Twitters and the Book of Faces, and you guys are on everything. Man, you got podcasts and everything. You guys are really you're leading it as far as most of the bands that I know that are around doing this stuff. You guys are really finding a way to stay relevant, when it's tough right now, right?
Oh man, it's purely out of insecurity of being forgotten.
I can pretty much.
It's like we got to do something. We're gonna go nuts.
Hashtag truth.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That's part of it.
Yeah, we got you gotta better busy than bored,
Absolutely. And
if I'm bored, bad things happen. I can't do that.
How about the COVID thing? What have you got? What were you guys doing during have you guys played a live gig yet?
No, it's been a year.
Oh.
It's been over a year.
Wow.
Yeah, we haven't. It's for me. It's been a little longer because the last show you guys played, that was Beery's, right? Yeah. I was just coming out of the hospital. I had diverticulitis surgery, so
right. I remember.
Yeah, so I didn't play that show. DJ covered for me and did an amazing job, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and the return show in a month. And it's been about a year and a half.
Yeah,
waiting.
Wow.
Been a while. We did that Thanksgiving Eve thing where it was we kind of did it as a show and kind of put that out. So we got to feel like we were playing a set at least, and playing a set for people, and that was fun and that was cool. And then we've done I've done acoustic things, live streams. We've done a couple of live streams.
Yes, you have.
Frank jumped up on stage with some people the other day and got to go play at a party and stuff. So
yeah, that was
actually Frank. You've been on stage.
You were Decay
more recently than all of us.
Yeah, Decay and Decadence show.
Yeah.
It was really cool. A lot of different musicians, people I knew, people I just made friends with, and
So Larry from Jack Pipe was there too, right?
Yeah,
he was sporting your shirt. I saw that.
I love. Cool. Well, no, it's funny though. He always superimposes the Jack Pipe logo on everyone's shirts. Yeah. And, I thought that would be a great idea to do the same for our band. So I took that photo of him and I was like, Photoshop, and I sent it to him and I posted. He loved it and he reposted it everywhere. I thought it was terrific.
Wow.
And he totally
he's a
got
great guy.
me.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he totally got me on it too, because I just saw his post that said repping Craving Strange at the show, and I saw it and I saw the shirt and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I was also like, we didn't release that shirt, so he bootlegged a shirt. That's even cooler.
Yeah,
someone bootlegged our shirt, and then Frank was like, no, I superposed it, and I was like, oh. I mean, that's great. Oh.
Man, it'd be so much cooler if somebody's bootlegging your shit, right?
Right?
Like, that's when you know you made
it. That's how you know you made it. Yeah.
Somebody's bootlegging my shit, man.
Damn it.
I bet, Chris, when was the last time you did a show, Chris?
In March when we did the Beery show. That was the last time I did a show. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I've been just staying busy making drum videos and stuff and putting them on ShinderhoodTV.com.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So you guys, how many YouTube channels do you guys have now?
20.
We just have the one. We have the one channel. But what we did is we kind of we decided to treat the YouTube channel, instead of saying, oh, this is all about Craving Strange and the band and stuff. We decided to be like, hey, everybody who wants to make a show in the band can make a show. So, you know, I have the Bacon is my podcast and Will It Sound Good acoustic, and Frank has Thank Frank It's Friday, and he's got some cover videos that he does and Sunday blues sessions, and Chris has the drum videos, and Monty has one video out. We're working on him. We're working on him.
Yeah, that's great. You know,
Monty content. Monty content is in high demand. We get
high demand
all the time. We get people posting about Monty content.
True.
Right,
so you guys just got to keep pushing him, and then eventually he's going to break. We'll get him.
I'm going to give you guys his email address.
Definitely.
You can just bombard him.
I noticed that's one of the things, especially when you're trying to get a YouTube channel. You just got to keep posting. You just got to put up as much as possible, because we noticed that we were starting like, come on, how come people aren't watching? People aren't watching, and then like now we've got, I don't know, 70 videos up or something, and we're just watching the subscriptions climb, which is really nice. But it's because we just have so much shit out there, and we're doing live gear reviews, we're doing product spotlights. We talked to
absolutely, man, anything.
Yeah,
anything. We reached out to we have our good friends in the scene. We're always playing with Rebel 9, and we always play with something heavy like Mike Wayman's bands and stuff. And it was like Mike and I did the podcast. We put DJ on with a show, and it's like we decided hey, instead of it just treat it like a network, and then we can help kind of elevate the scene through there too. And I don't know, try and
add that
get
channel. You give it a lot of variety.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not just like no one wants to see all me playing acoustic songs, or all Chris playing drum videos, or all Frank playing solos. It's cool, but each one of those things has its own audience, and then there's a little bit of crossover, and so it's give everybody something to, and then you get more content too. Then it's not up to one of us to put a video out every week. It's everybody gets a chance to kind of do stuff too.
Well, my show started out as people were, not playing out at all. So I thought, well, why don't I make my videos of me jamming just drums, and people could jam along to it. Yeah. And that's how the premise of my show started. So just if you're sitting at home and you're bored and you want to feel like you're playing with somebody, play along to me on the drums.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Some cool jam videos there. I've used a couple of them in guitar lessons too with people. I'm like, here, play to a drum beat. Here it is.
They did that Zeppelin song, Chris. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was
Achilles, dude. Achilles.
I've been playing that song since I'm 10 years old.
And the kid, dude, I was watching it. I'm like, make a mistake, and he just didn't make any mistakes. He was spot on. I'm like, yes, that's my boy.
Yeah, that one's rooted real deep. That and the two Yes songs I did were songs I've been playing since I'm a little kid. I was like, I gotta do these.
Yeah, those were cool videos, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, StrangerhoodTV.com. Just plug it.
Yeah, just plug it. He's got it. We're gonna put links to everything here. This way we can, we'll get some traffic going there. So tell us about the song. Tell us a little bit about the song. Where did it start?
It started on my couch, sitting with an acoustic guitar, and I try to write songs. I usually try and write 2 at a time, just so that I have, if I get stuck on something, I jump to the other thing, and maybe something comes out of one, or maybe, it just, my brain works better that way. And I was working on, it was the beginnings of Rise also, was kind of around the same time. And I came up with kind of the riff and had a melody and kind of went through it and brought it in the studio, and everybody was like, yeah, that's a thing. We should do that. That should be a thing. And then we Craving Strange all over it. And
right. That's the thing. That's always a good way it starts, Oh, that should definitely be a thing.
Yeah. So
it was cool when he brought it in. We I remember the melody of how he was singing the words, and just the vibe of it just initially. And it was a little different. It was a lot different, but the way he was coming across, introducing the song to us, you instantly knew it was something. He was like, right. Wait a minute. Well, hold off. Let's not play anyone, but let Jim do this 10 more times, because this is pretty fucking cool, And when we all jumped on board, I think everyone in this band really brought some special moments to this vibe, this whole thing. It was just great.
Yeah, definitely.
And the song came about like right in the middle as we were writing Rise. We were kind of screwing around with Rise at the same time.
Yep.
So it was pretty cool. It just came out of nowhere.
Very cool.
So Jimmy, are you like the principal songwriter for the band, or how does Craving Strange, like, how do the songs evolve? Like, is it a collective input from everybody, or do you have the ideas and you give it to the band and then you guys work on it collectively, or how does that work?
It depends. It depends. Throughout the time of Craving Strange, there's been any number of ways. A lot of times, I'll come in with an idea, or I'll have kind of something. But sometimes even me coming in with an idea is because we jammed on something and came up with a riff in like a jam session or something. And then I'll go home and I'll kind of work on that, and I'll write something around it and then bring it in and see what everybody thinks, and it'll go from there. Sometimes I come in with a song and I'm like, hey guys, I wrote a song, here's a thing. And then sometimes like two of us will be jamming on something and it's like, oh, remember that idea, put it on our phone. Or, you know, my phone has no space left because it's all voice memos of me like, hey, play that again. Or like, let's play that again. Or shut up and let me sing this.
Remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
There's a lot of room recordings out there on the iPhones of the world.
There's a lot of room recordings.
Yeah, absolutely. So the recording process, do you guys went into a studio, or do you do it in your own studio?
We used to do it in our own studio up until Careful of the Landmines, and then we started working with Dave Caggiano. And he is in Glen Cove, and he has worked on he did the Midnight Mob records.
Love that band.
Last Turn Off Broadway.
Jackknife Stiletto.
Jackknife Stiletto. He did Gina Cotillo. He's done. I mean, he's worked with so many people that we know that have put out great work, and and we've always kind of like. He's always kind of been a friend of mine, and I worked with him back when I was in the band called Sick as Monday for a little while. We were starting to do something with him. So we always had this kind of in the back of our head, like, okay, someday we're going to get together and we're going to work a record. We're going to figure it out. And so I got in touch with him when we were going to do Landmines, and we did that. I did the Blue Notebook record with him. And then when we got in to do this one, it was like, for Landmines, Chris was brand new into the band. Frank was freshly back into the band. Chris wasn't even in the band. Monty wasn't even in the band when we were recording the record. Yeah. So he came into a situation where it was like, hey, here's these songs. Here's a record. Let's go. So this got to be different because this was like, we're a new band and we had time to become a band. And Chris had a year on drums to get comfortable with us and how we write. And we had a chance to write together. And so we brought Dave in and we did pre-production with him. Then we went to his studio and kind of put it together. And now we're doing new stuff with him too. And we're starting to record in our own place. So that's kind of how it went, at least my memory of it. Chris, Frank?
I must confirm that that's what happened. Yes.
Yeah, I can agree.
I concur.
So was it a challenge to have like a fresh set of ears, kind of like taking your music, saying, you know what, I think you should do this, or, you know, something going against the grain to what you originally thought? Was there a difference with him?
I think with Dave, and I think we all can agree on this one. There's some level of trust between the five of us, you know, that, working with Dave on Landmines, I developed a relationship with him. I know Jim had, a working relationship and friendship with him before that. And, Dave and I, he's an encourager. He challenges you in the studio. He finds your best and brings it out in everyone's performance, but how he does it is a way of there's just such trust there with all of us, with him, with us, and him, us with him. So no, I don't think it was like any kind of challenge. I think it was something where it was like, Dave he's like the fifth member of the band,
Right, I got you.
He's that guy that like knows our ears, knows our audience, knows our every move. He
knows the sound. He knows the whole vibe of the band.
He's so talented in this in the record, anyone who wants to record anything, I would definitely recommend Dave.
Absolutely.
Any day, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
He's not in it. He's not in it for a paycheck. He's like he gets it, and he throws himself into it, and he wants to know what makes the band tick before he ever goes into a song or anything like that. He's not the type that I've worked with people before that like they come in and they want to change things because they want to get their handprint on it and they want to have a name on it or something like that. And you know, it's like, all right, I'm going to come in and what can I take out? And it's not at all like that with him. I think if any of us had like the challenging time with Dave, it was probably Chris, because Chris hadn't worked with him before and we had this trust already. And it was just, Chris was like, okay, I haven't worked with this guy. This is my band. And we were all just kind of like, yeah, whatever Dave says goes. And Chris is like, well, hold on. I don't know him yet. I don't know him yet.
Well, I mean,
I don't know him yet. He's taking my drums off.
I mean, I met Dave 12 years ago because my buddies recorded with him. So I was at his house when I was like 19. So I knew of him and I knew the work that he did. So I kind of was like, well, he makes great sounding records. There's got to be something to that. So there is that level of trust. But I got to admit, I was a little nervous, just like, you know, when you put yourself into a part and then you're worried about that guy coming up like, nah, I think you should play it like this instead. You know, you got to kind of check your ego a little bit and just think what's really best for the song and not what's best for my ego. You know, like,
yeah.
That's I feel like that's the most difficult part for some drum players to understand, is that, you know, you could throw all your bells and whistles into it, but doesn't mean it's going to benefit the song. It's just going to benefit you, trying to get the attention on you, and the attention should be on the whole band.
Exactly.
You know, at least that's how I feel. Kind of almost like that. You got to find the mix between the Neil Peart and the Ringo Starr. You know, you got to find that middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that's cool.
Good answer. Good answer. All right.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Nicely done.
Fucking great answer.
Yeah.
Belfers clap.
Chris, how long have you been in the band?
I'm coming up. October will be 3 years, so like 2.5 years at this point.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm surprised you can go by like months. You know, like kids do, like parents do with their kids. They're like, you know, like 2,400 months.
34 months.
I think he's 70, dude. You know? He's not a baby anymore. Now, Chris is like the addition that was needed and is amazing. Like, he just comes in with such fire and passion and like enthusiasm. And, you know, I'll come in burnt out from my work day or whatever, and he'll just like energize the whole situation with his playing and his attitude and his work ethic, you know. So he's definitely a huge portion of the drive in this fucking band. Oh, I cursed. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. You can fucking curse.
Fucking sorry, man.
With that.
I'm really fucking sorry.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want, let's roll the song.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it.
All right.
So much for what's happening after. I'm left here in the afterglow, while I'm stuck here keeping your secrets. Dead leaves have the sins below. Well, can I be honest with you now? I don't believe in ever after, but there's a part of you that I just can't put down. Will you be honest with me now? 'Cause if you break me, I will shatter, and all the pieces will scatter like the ashes, and they all fall down. I hope they're the last ones who ever have to be the ones to have it all torn down. Over and over. When is it over? Slip, now I know what you're after. There's no fear when the ceiling's low. The sunset on the words that'll keep you. There's new skin where the seeds have grown. Can I be honest with you now? I don't believe in ever after, but there's a part of you that I just can't put down. Will you be honest with me now? 'Cause if you break me, I will shatter, and all the pieces will scatter like the ashes, and they all fall down. I hope they're the last ones. Whoever have to be the ones to have it all torn down. Over and over. When is it over? With you now, I don't believe in ever after. There's a part of you that I just can't put down. Will you be honest with me now? 'Cause if you break me, I will shatter, and all the pieces will scatter like the ashes, and they all fall down. I hope they're the last ones. Whoever have to be the ones to have it all torn down. Over and over. God, when is it over?
Fucking wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I have listened to this
Epic.
a number of times, and I gotta say, I really do love it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's just
there is a lot going on that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like with all your songs, it takes you on a journey.
Frank, I'll mute your mic.
Yeah, I did too. I have to always think about that.
I muted it because my kid was using the bathroom and he didn't close the door, so you heard. I'm like, that's fucking some stream, kid.
Yeah, sounds like a horse, right?
That's the boy.
Yeah. Wait till you get as old as I am. Then it's like just a trickle.
It's like triple dribble.
Yeah.
Dribble.
And I hear my kid pissing, and I'm like, God damn! If I just,
you don't know how good you have it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
guys,
just that is really just. I mean, I'm watching the comments, and they are, least to say, complimentary. Really good stuff. So let me ask you the technical stuff. Guitars, amps. What did you use here? so we get a little bit of background. Because if I don't ask, Tommy's gonna say, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
Well, people are going to be upset with us because there was not a single real amp used on that recording.
Good. So what did you use?
You never tell.
Yeah, we're actually Frank, Monty, and I are all on Line 6 Helixes now.
Yeah.
We made the switch over to that probably Frank, like 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, it was 2 years, about 2 years. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. You actually, you started first with it, and then I kind of jumped on board after, but Jimmy got me involved with the Line 6, and I'm glad he did, because I'm happy.
Easy live. Not that you have a chance to play a lot live, but it's nice.
Well,
to
easy
have
live.
It, right?
And then when we went into the studio, it was like it was interesting because when we went in, it was like, okay, are we going to use these to record, or do we need to, think about like amps and stuff to record? And when we went in and like did the scratch tracks, Dave was like, "Dude, sounds like a Marshall." And I was like, "Yeah," because we sat down and we were like, I did everything I could to, I played Marshalls. I played Marshalls and I played Mesa Boogies. And so there's a sound in my head, and it's the same thing with Frank, man. Like there's a sound in his head, and we sit down and we agonize over how to make that sound happen. And then once we got it, and technology has made us able to do it. Frank had a lot more stuff there because of channels and stuff, because he does the solos and things like that.
Right.
So, but
yeah,
I mean,
the
still
Wheedly parts, right?
Yeah, a little
Wheedly stuff. Yeah. He does.
Leedle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel that like the guitar solos were more of a not really a solo, but more of, as far as like, listen, like we could easily do like crazy runs and do some fast playing, but this song I like challenged myself to, and then the guys it was so great. Like we spent an entire session like Saturday one day looping the solo over and over and over. And when I wrote most of it during the COVID break, about because I was in the basement, I had nothing else to do, so I just went over and over. They sent like the guitars and drums scratch tracks, and I played along with it for a while.
Right.
But when we got back to the studio and I'm back to regular rehearsals, building it was just very emotional for me, and because of what I was going through and what I was feeling, and and I didn't want to be like, I wanted to speak. I wanted it to say something. I wanted it to have meaning. I wanted you to be able to hum it or sing to it if you wanted to, like the, like that little thing right there is just, to me, it's like gold. Because supporting everybody else in the band, like Jimmy's vocals, and holy crap, like he put his heart and soul into this vocally and performance wise and lyrics. I mean, I think, like I was telling him today, I'm like, it's just some of the best. And I've seen him for how long we together, bro? Long friggin' time, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's good to see and have it all come together too. It's pretty amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely I think like even without amps, we did use a lot of different guitars. We used we used Les Pauls, we used Hagströms, which we kind of got interested in from being at NAMM a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. We used a Telly on some things. We used all kinds of stuff. A couple acoustics, a couple of Dave's Martin. I have a couple of Yamaha acoustics that we used. So as far as like gear, that, and then the Helixes, and then but really it came into, like I've always said, and people always will say like, oh, tone isn't in the amp, it's in your hands.
Yeah. Right.
And if you're feeling it and you're into it, you can make that guitar, that tone, that everything sound like it's going to sound. You get any of the greats come into your studio and pick up any guitar and turn on any amp, and they're going to sound like them.
Yes.
And that's kind of something that stuck with me as far as like when choosing what to use and stuff like that. I'm like, maybe what to use isn't as important as what we do with it. And as far as like that aspect of it, guitar wise, I think this song specifically, and I told Frank this earlier today, I think it's like the best work he's ever done. And if you look back just in Craving Strange stuff, some sick guitar on lots of things, you know, and I just think this is some of the best stuff he's ever done. And so guitar wise, I just think that we really kind of like threw ourselves into that mindset of the song is the God. We are worshiping the God, and we are doing whatever it needs, and we'll make it sound right, and we'll figure out the right sounds for it. Now, Chris, on the other hand, played all acoustic drums.
I did.
I was going to ask that.
He's got the Line 6 Helix too.
I played a drum set that I had from when I was a kid. It's a 1996 Pearl Prestige Essence Select. It's mahogany, so it's got like it's got darker tones and stuff to it. So I felt that kit really would bring out the essence of the song, because the song is a little bit dark, and it's got those old style toms that are a little longer, so it's got more boom to them. So when you hit them, they explode, which is exactly what I felt like this song needed. So I ended up recording all 3 of the new singles that we did on those drums. But I've since then have gotten a new drum set that I'll talk about a little later if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually got a video coming out about it. So.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool.
I could talk about it. I mean, I do tease it on the last video that I did, but it's over Jim's shoulder there to the left.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's in the dark.
Yeah.
This is the reveal, sorta.
It's right there.
You
Right
kind
there.
of see it, but
Yeah.
not
I
really.
will
It's nice
say-
and dark there. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I do the same thing. I do dark here, and then this way you don't see everything. So makes
Chris
sense.
got real cerebral with the drums on this, and I appreciated that. You know, a lot of drummers want to hit drums because that's what they do, you know. And we had so many talks about, like, even when he joined the band, we had all these talks about, like, you know, what makes a good drummer, what makes a good song, what makes a good songwriting drummer. We were fortunate to work with Jimmy Tassone in the past, who is a drummer that also plays guitar and also plays bass and is a songwriter and all this stuff. So he approached it from a very songwriting perspective. And that was one of the important things to us when looking for a new drummer. And Chris kind of adopted that pretty quickly and got real kind of like, okay, let's make things matter then. And it's even more so now, you know, like even in the newer stuff that we're writing, it's rare to hear a drummer go like, oh, I'm going to simplify this. And, but it's so awesome when they do. It's so awesome when they do.
Because I started out playing Ashes when we first started playing it. I was overplaying the shit out of it. Absolutely was.
It's rare to hear a drummer say that too.
Yeah.
I was kind of just feeling it out, but right around that time I was experimenting with, because the way that I would write is I would overplay, kind of write my part, and then start pulling back till I had the part right. So I would put everything in, but then slowly take stuff out. Whereas before I was working with Dave, I kind of had the idea of trying to do it the other way, but I never really did it. So Dave showed me start simple and then add, and then you can hear from there. So I started approaching it in that way, and I think it's benefited the whole band, because instead of just trying, like, again, what I was saying before about trying to get your jollies off by doing the craziest thing you can think of, it's like, well, what's going to make the song sound good? Right. So I started pulling back a little bit, and it to me, it's perfect. The way that I have everything written out, it's perfect.
Chris, I'm looking at the chat right now, and Mel says that she rubbed her balls on your drum set.
What? That'd be fighting words, Mel.
Oh boy.
There's no fight now. The balls have been on your drum set. That's past tense shit now. So you can't even. All you can do is be mad. All you can do is feel violated.
I guess I'll have to rub my balls on her drum set.
Love is in the air.
I could feel it in my ball.
That is awesome.
All right. Moving on.
So yeah. Once we're rubbing balls, I mean, it doesn't really matter after that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Mel.
Jackknife stiletto, everyone.
Oh shit.
So Lenny, how's your balls?
My balls are good.
That's good, buddy.
Yeah. Do you prefer them on to rub them on a snare or toms?
or hi-hats?
hi-hat.
Yeah, they got a little
right
coolness
in
to them.
between them, right?
A little chill.
I want in between the hi-hats while you play a disco beat.
So one of the people, Bill's asking, are you guys planning on doing a video for this?
There is a video that we shot for it that is a really cool, like, not like your typical video. We decided to bring in friends and fans and supporters of the bands. And we had them all at the studio for a day and shot them listening to the song for the very first time and got their reactions and got their feelings and stuff like that. Frank's in the middle of editing that right now, so that should be done within the next 3 weeks. We have a lyric video.
Oh wait, I told you it would be done tomorrow, but if it's going to be done in 3 weeks, yes, I got more time.
Wow, cool.
Sweet.
Released.
Oh, released. I didn't hear that word. Shit. Gotta go, guys. Gotta go with it.
We have a lyric video coming out as well.
Cool.
And then on the channel, if you've been watching Strangerhood TV, you know that we do the playthrough videos and stuff like that too. So Chris is doing a drum playthrough of Ashes. I'm doing a Will It Sound Good acoustic of Ashes, so there'll be the acoustic version out as well. And Frank and Monty will probably be doing playthroughs as well, so you can kind of see what they're doing on the song. So there's going to be lots of video representation of the song.
Wow, that's great. That's
incredible.
Great. So
you guys will be so sick of it.
You guys actually remember what you play, right? On the we always laughed is that I don't remember half the shit that I play on the album.
Yeah, this is why I don't solo.
Yes, right.
I kind of like, it's been a while since, because we're working on newer material now.
Yeah.
Mostly, so we're doing the loops and going through the process,
Yeah.
So we haven't played the old stuff even though it's new. We haven't played anything, in a while.
Yeah.
So anytime Jimmy or Chris, calls out one of the old ones, I'm like, shit, I'll put the phone in my ear. Oh, yeah, okay, I know where I'm at now. Chris likes to call songs that, like, I didn't even realize made record. Like, it's like
Monty does that too.
It's like a demo from like the first time we met. How do you know this? He's like, I got the vault, man. I know the song. So yeah, so he calls out a lot of the tunes that we have to like. Want to play on that? So that's when the wah pedal comes in. I'm like,
Right. All right. We got
Mel's comment. That's a good one.
What, the balls in her fishnets? Or
no, Frank wants to know. Mel said, Frank, how'd you get the CS and on-air stickers on your screen? You so fancy, you must have a lot of rich mahogany.
I always look at that too. I'm like, wow, he's way better than I am on this shit, man.
I use that OBS software. It's like ridiculous. I'm a technology goof during the day. That's what I do for a living.
I'm using OBS too. That's his whole thing.
Yeah, I like lock myself in a room to learn the Helix, and then I lock myself in a room to learn OBS and Reaper and like all the other stuff, so I can do recordings and stuff. But I love this stuff.
Our thing with OBS is like I got thrown into it, and then that's it. I haven't had time since.
Yeah.
It's more fun to go back and look at our first couple of shows because we used to use Skype instead of Zoom, and wow, what a fucking mess that was.
I use OBS to go through to Zoom and then out, but I also use it to I just figured out how to live stream on Facebook, but have my guitar go through my audio interface through my Helix and everything. So it's kind of cool to have like that actual sound. So I'll play songs to go, covers to go along with it. So it's a lot of fun. I can do like Badlands or. Some old Jakey Lee stuff and stuff like that.
Right.
It's kind of
cool. I use an interface here, obviously, for everything.
Yeah,
but I'm always having the problem. I'm always doubling shit because everybody else is. You guys are all zoomed into me, so I'm trying to figure out. It wasn't until last week we figured out how I could get you guys to actually hear everything. Whenever we used to do any of the video clips or audio clips, you guys wouldn't hear anything. It wasn't until last week. I'm like, I'm just gonna go from the headphone out and loop it back in again.
Yeah, it's crazy how you have everything like channeled and daisy chained and stuff. But once you get it down and you save it as a project, you're all good.
Yeah. It's been rough. So let me ask you guys this: you guys got a Spinal Tap moment for us?
Oh, right now when Chris's camera turned off.
Yeah, well,
right now.
I saw that.
Right now, Chris is half caught in the cocoon.
He's back.
I don't know what I hit.
He was. I think he was taking his balls out. So
I was. I had to. I'm getting ready.
Chris is our Spinal Tap moment.
Yeah. So what do you? I mean, we I have a Spinal Tap moment every fucking show. You know.
Oh yeah.
What's a
absolutely.
really good one that you can think of? We got
well,
three of you
Frank,
on here, so you can each give us one. So
I know Frank's got a great one where he concussed himself, so I would like him to tell that story.
Oh, yeah. I was on tour. I forget where it was, but I decided to jump. You know, during mid performance and solo, I was jumping on the drum riser, and it had a carpet on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on the drum riser. We're gonna do that moment. And I'm gonna jump off. I used to do that shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I jumped on the drum riser that had a carpet on it that wasn't stapled into the floor. So it was like, boom, boom, I'm on, sliding off backwards, head hits, guitar amp, and I'm concussed, and I'm like seeing stars. But I still played the solo, and I didn't stop, and I got up and I finished the song, and the crowd went nuts. But I was like, and I think that there was like 50,000 people, because when you hit your head, you see
lights are on, but ain't nobody home.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's where muscle memory kicks
four
in.
people. I'm like, thanks, Mom. Yeah. But no, it was crazy. I totally I got fucked up on that one. That was a bad one. But it was funny though. It's like you just feel your feet. I'm like, bad idea.
Yeah.
Going down. Boom, dead. It was crazy.
How about you, Chris? What's your Spinal Tap moment?
Well, it's not me that it happened to. It was my lead singer in an old band of ours, but he almost missed the show. We literally pulled in 5 minutes before we had to go on stage. He had to go get tested because him and his girlfriend decided to have a fun night with a friend of hers, and she had something. So instead of driving up to Connecticut to go play Empress Ballroom with the band, he had to drive up with his girl because he had to go get tested. And he rolled into the parking lot 5 minutes before we actually went on stage. We were opening for Sleeping and Bayside that night. And he almost missed the biggest show that the band had. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It was crazy, yeah.
That's, the story, that's making everybody nervous. Everybody's sweating on that one, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, when he described what test he had to have done, I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to hear anymore. But other than that, there was another time where I played a show, and the first song, probably fourth hit, I broke my snare head, and I didn't have a replacement, so I had to make it work without a snare drum for the whole show.
Man,
that kind of sucked. Kind of sucked.
I've been there, man. I did.
We had.
and I broke my finger once.
We were doing a show in Pennsylvania, at an outdoor venue in Pennsylvania, and it was. We were all set up, and it was like in a park, and there were a bunch of like picnic tables and stuff in front of us, and a crowd of people gathered. But they aren't fans of ours; they're just there, and so we kind of lucked out, and it was like, oh, cool, there's people here. And we got about 4 songs in, and the generator blew, and so there's no power at all. And we were in the middle of Complicated, actually, like right at the beginning of our song, Complicated. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I start at the time before we even started that song, I'd try and get everybody to clap, and I'd get everybody to go, whoa, oh, and all that stuff. And so we were just getting the crowd kind of into it. And then we're just starting to get there, and we start the song, and it's like 1, 2, 3, no guitars, and everything is off, and the mic's off, and everything. And I turned around to Jimmy at the time, and I was like, just keep the beat going. And so he just kept the kick going the whole time, and I just started walking around on top of the tables and trying to keep everybody clapping. And then I just sang the song a cappella, standing on top of picnic tables until, and then like right near the end of the song, they got the generator back on it. So I ran back to the stage and put my guitar on, and we finished the song. Wow. And it was like, but I did the whole song like a cappella, standing on top of a picnic table with Jimmy just doing the kick. Wow. He couldn't hear me. He couldn't hear me at all. I just kept like, every time I'd look back at him and I'd be like, and he just kept going. So that was quite the Spinal Tap moment for us.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Quick thinking.
Yeah.
Keep everybody engaged.
That was a panic. That was panicked thinking. There was no thinking there. I was just like, oh, something's got to happen.
So
I don't know enough jokes.
Kim is asking, is there an ET on the album? Now, let me ask this. Is there going to be an album, or are you guys doing singles?
We are just doing singles. We may we talk about it every now and then. Man, people say they want albums. I can't tell you how many times I've had someone come to a show that hasn't seen us in like a year. And they're like, hey, I remember you guys from a year ago. I love you guys. I still have your CD. It's on the floor of my car. I never opened it. And I'm like, yeah, because everybody wants CDs, right?
Yeah.
And because people listen online. That's where you listen. You listen on Spotify. You listen on. I don't listen to CDs. It's cool because it's an impulse buy and all that kind of stuff, and it's great to have it. And I love artwork, and I love that feel of like, hey, we did this. We made something, and here it is, tangible. But I tell you, to not have to spend $2,500
exactly
on getting all of that done, and to be able to put some of that money into advertising it anyway instead, or saving that money or not having to like go into debt and be paying off that money for the next year while you're hoping
buy
they
guitar
sell.
strings rather than go and steal them,
Right. So as much as I love them, we had to like especially this last year, man, we all had to kind of look at each other and go, hey, we got to embrace some changes and embrace the future here. And kind of, if you're not swimming, you're drowning, and the dinosaurs died off. So you got to adapt, and you got to change, and you got to kind of go with it. Maybe as a like a special thing, we'll do it at some point. I think we release 9 of the singles, and then we put another 4 together and throw them all on something and put it out like over the holidays or something as like a special thing. But also, if you think about it, the normal cycle for a record is a band will spend 6 to 8 months recording, right? And then they'll spend another 3 months promoting and prepping for this release. And then they release it and it's out.
Yeah.
Right. You can release a single, you can release another single from a record that's already done. But as soon as that record's out, it's old. And every song on that record that came out at once is now old. It's on the old record. Yeah. And people right now are obsessed with new, and they're very much into like what's coming. And then the other benefit is we've gotten to treat each song like its own record. We may not have, like Ashes and Rise probably wouldn't have sounded exactly like they do had we had to plan on them being on the same record. We would have had to pay more attention to tones and what kind of sonically we're going for the record. The next single that we're putting out is like a Cheap Trick pop song, and it wouldn't have gone on the same record with these two. And we really are getting the chance to embrace our creativity that way. And for me, that's been awesome because it's pushed us as players to like go, okay, this style is different. We got to play in this different style. How do I make this style in my way? How do I Play-Doh make a meal? This thing that I'm kind of creating now. And for each of us, we have to kind of stretch to do that. And I think it's freeing to not have to think of it as this has got to be a puzzle piece on this big thing that has to fit together.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me personally, I don't know if you guys have anything you'd want to add to that, or what your thoughts are on those, Chris and Frank.
Yeah, Chris.
I just like the freedom of doing it as singles because, like Jim said, you can approach each song differently, and you're not worried about like if it's going to fit with something else. You're kind of approaching it as its own thing. So I like that part of it, that we can creatively go in any direction we want and not have to worry if it's going to fit with something else. Like that's the best part of it.
Yeah, it's like starting with a clean canvas. Every time you can just do something different. That's not going to.
Right.
Cool.
Realistically, that's kind of a throwback to the old Beatles shit, right? They used to just release singles after singles, and then it'd all go on an album eventually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
you gotta.
Maybe it's coming back around to that.
You know what it is? It's like anyone's attention span is limited. It's like we want things quick. We want to, now.
Yeah.
So like if you release a full record and like 12 songs, you just blew everything in one shot, and then you got to wait another year to see like what's coming out, or 2 years, whatever. Like if we do this every 3 month, 3.5, 4 month thing when we're releasing singles, you know, we're still here. We're still showing you, like, we're still pumping stuff out. Do we have your attention now? Cool. See you in 3 months. Boom.
Yeah.
You have your attention now?
You notice even on like videos, you know, we're Grimjack, we were talking about the, you know, we just released a video along with the song at the same day, and we're looking like, wow, people are, you know, it's a 3-minute 44-second song. It's not a long song. It's very short, and yet people's attention, you're not getting a YouTube video through the whole thing. You know, they're not sitting there for 3 minutes. You know, you're getting like a minute 40, and like, wow, that's a win to get a minute 40.
Yeah, you look at your average of videos and the attention span. You're right. You're so right, man.
Yeah,
you look at it, and you're like,
you gotta get that hook in there like immediately.
It's a sales pitch as soon as you start. You know, it's like boom. Let's get 3 seconds.
And I'm looking,
in,
I'm like, wow, minute 40, that's pretty good. And
cool.
you know, the bass player is like, wow, that's terrible. I'm like, no, man, that's fucking good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a verse and a chorus.
That's great.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a verse and a chorus. You win.
Yeah. It means, you know, that verse was good enough to make him listen to that chorus.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
I always like to make fun because
30 seconds.
Yeah, the other guitar player, Jimmy, did the second solo. Like, once they get to your solo, they're fucking out, man. You know? So.
Yeah, but that's cool. A minute 40 is great, man.
Yeah, I mean that's that's pretty good. And what happened to life when you can't get people to watch something for a minute 40? You know, I mean it's different when it comes down to listening on Spotify because people are listening. You know, they're usually doing something else. You know, you're not requiring their complete attention. You know,
it's just going to be one chord out. You know, hey, boom, done. You know, it's like okay, you know, make that A chord. You rib cracking.
Yep, rib cracking. I like that.
See.
Hey, you just gave us the name of our new album. Good.
There you go. Rib cracking A.
Yeah.
I said that.
Put a question mark at the end of it, and then it's Canadian. Rib cracking A.
Rib cracking. like playing that rib cracking A. I want ribs. Thanks. I'm hungry.
Damn it. Now I'm hungry.
Cheez-Its.
Got that Cheez-Its.
Got that Cheez-Its vibe, kid.
Wow. All right. So let me see if there's anything else new. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask, we have our section that we call the Fuck You section. And I know you guys are from New York. So a lot of times we get people from the Bible Belt, and then they're not quite as savvy to the fuck you is actually a compliment, you know, right? So if I tell you like, Jimmy, fuck you for singing like that on this song, he knows like, oh, wow, he liked it, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
We're going to ask you guys, each one of you, because we got 3 of you captive. So who is the artist that you really enjoy to watch so much that makes you say, fuck you, man? You know, like you're so good.
From what era?
Yeah, like you can pick any era. And this is hard to just narrow it down to like 1 or 2 guys. So, Chris, tell me, who absolutely drove you nuts as a musician? You know, maybe is a drummer that you said, like, wow, I'll never compete with that or whatever.
If I had to pick one, Marco Miniman.
Okay.
Every time I watch that guy play, I'm just like, fuck you. Like, the guy does three different time signatures at the same time and just makes it look so effortless. Him and also like Taylor Hawkins when he plays drums. Yeah. Same thing. Watch that guy play drums, the energy that he puts out. He's just so precise, so amazing. Clean. Yeah.
He's a perfect rock star drummer, man.
I'm like, fuck you, man. What the But yeah, those would be my 2 picks.
Awesome. Yeah. Frank?
I got a Stevie Ray, man.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. I watch that guy and it's every time, you know, effortless. I've seen videos where he breaks a string and he's still jamming and the guy comes up behind, he just gives him the look, pops the fucking new guitar on, and he doesn't miss a note. I'm like, fuck you. Because when I pop a string, I'm like, where did I pop a string? You know,
I can't play.
He's like fucking right on, spot on. His licks is, you know, the way he bends strings. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, and he wasn't using no fucking 9s either.
No, dude, he was using like 13s. 11,000.
Like, I'm not a big enough person to hold a 13.
Jimmy G uses like 12 for the acoustic, and if I pick it up, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, I can't do that shit, man.
Yeah, no, me neither. I like 10 to 46. I use the New York XLs, the D'Addario, the 10 to 46. Those are heavy, but they're not too heavy. But I tried 11s for a while, and I I bend the fuck out of the strings, and like I like my fingers to have like skin on them, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I use the 10 through 52s a long time because I do a lot of, I was doing a lot of drop D stuff here and there.
Yeah,
and I like a really tight bottom end. What's that?
Do you use the New York XLs? Do you use those ones?
Yeah.
Which ones do you use?
Yep.
Those are nice, right? I love those brands. I love that brand.
Except now that I'm a little bit older, we got to realize I'm way older than you guys than you think. Anyway, I went down to 9s now, so now it's 9 through 46. So I feel terrible.
9s are cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
I always did 11s. I did the XL jazz strings because I beat the shit out of my guitars.
Yeah.
I'm a heavy-handed player. I'm not playing leads. So I'm just like beating the hell out of it. And then when Rise came along, I did half of the solo on Rise, and it was like I played it and I was like, I'm gonna try 10s. Try 10s.
Yeah. Finally,
maybe you're onto something. So now I have one guitar.
Like, I see why he does this.
One guitar that I've got 10s on, and then my other one I've got 11s on. It's like,
try doing a bend on 11.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I get it. Jimmy, who are you giving a fuck you to?
Freddie Mercury, right off the bat.
Absolutely.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Michael Jackson. Fuck you. Fuck you. Dave Grohl. Fuck you.
There's another one.
Dave Grohl. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Man.
There's so many.
God, I have lists. I have so many.
Yeah.
It was hard to just
I have local guys.
Here's a fuck. Here's a fuck. Here's a fuck. Here you go.
Dude.
Do you got time?
I have my like local friends and stuff that I'm like that. Mike Wayman, when he screams, fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When he hits those notes, it's like, dude.
Oh, Burt McCracken from the Used, just the way that he's able to like make you feel what he's screaming, even if he's off key sometimes. Like, dude, you feel it. Fuck you. Jared Leto, fuck you for being a good actor and singing your ass off.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Well, mostly a good actor. When it comes to that, it came to the Joker thing, that was a little...
Well, that wasn't all his fault.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
But that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of acting, Jimmy, you've done some acting. Have you pursued that further?
I haven't done acting. What I have done is I have been in a couple of films. I am by no means an actor. I was fortunate enough to be in 2 films. There is a very talented company called Polestar Productions out in Pennsylvania. John Rain is the mastermind. Tom Stoops. Their whole team is awesome, and they put me and the band in a movie that they did called Broke Down. That is it's a horror movie. It's on Amazon Prime. He was like, do you want to be the lead in my movie? And I was like, I don't think you want me to be the lead in your movie. And he was like, no, it's the character is a rock star who has this overbearing girlfriend that like is mean to him, and they get stranded out in the wilderness and they're hunted by these like hillbillies. And I'm like, well, I grew up in Indiana. I've definitely had girlfriends like that before, and I'm in a band. So maybe I can fake my way through this. And I was like, couldn't we get a video out of it? He was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And so he put me in his movie, and man, everybody that was in that movie, all the actors in that movie did everything they could to make me look good. They helped me through the entire thing, and like baby hand held me through the entire thing. And John made me look good. And we got an excellent video out of it. The Careful of the Landmines video is from that movie and kind of about that movie. They put the whole song in the movie. We performed in the movie. Frank's in the movie. Monty's in the movie. It was super fun to do. I would definitely do it again.
Yeah,
I got to be in another one of his movies a couple of years later, where he used a lot of our music as background music. It's called why can't I think of it right now? I'm totally blanking. I'm so sorry, John. Finding Purpose: The Road to Redemption. Really, really good movie, and our music is all over it. And then he's got a new vampire movie coming up that I'm going to get to be a part of as well.
The other movie was called Broke Down, right?
Broke Down was the first one.
Yeah, Broke Down.
But yeah, and then there's a vampire movie coming up that I'm going to get to be in, that myself and Mike Wayman wrote a song for the movie for a very like grisly bar death scene that was super fun to do. So I've done a little bit of it. I've had so much fun with it, but by no means am I an actor, even a little. I try and act like an actor.
Right.
That's about it.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah. But man, it was so much fun. Like it was
that was the best day.
One of the coolest things. And the people there, the people in Polestar are so awesome, and all the people in Pennsylvania are so awesome. There were a few of them in the chat also. I saw Miley in here and a couple other people that were kind of popping in the chat watching the show tonight. And so I just shout out to those guys because they're super cool, super fun, super awesome. Go support them. Go on Amazon Prime and check out those movies. Support indie filmmakers and indie musicians.
Right.
Absolutely. Well said. Yeah, well said. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, don't forget to support Craving Strange. Up on the screen right now is that weird fucking thing. That little square thing. That square thingy. You put your phone on it. Make sure you go and get their music. All right.
Right now, if you go to cravingstrange.net, you can download Ashes for whatever price you want. You can do it, or you can get it for free if you are interested in getting a brand new Ashes T-shirt, which we have in awesome. Boys and girls shapes and sizes, all those shapes and sizes. So it'll fit your body parts, and it says Ashes, and it comes with a song. So yeah, why not?
It comes with a song. Look at that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Great way to get that merch out there too, right?
Yeah. Hey man,
you gotta think of
it's a hustle,
man.
Bro.
Yeah, it is everything.
We haven't been able to play shows, so there's no money coming in.
No,
not that there was when we played shows anyway.
Right.
No, the original band. I get it. Totally.
Yeah, you want to come play your shows? You mean we want to come sell T-shirts? Yeah, sure. I'd love to. Exactly. Can we get on stage and do a 45-minute commercial for our T-shirts?
Yeah. Wow.
So now, speaking of shows, with everything hopefully opening up as they are slowly, and this pandemic thing is hopefully getting behind us, do you have any shows lined up or ideas, touring or anything like that in the near future?
Ideas, lots. Lined up, not yet. We're working on that now. What I'm looking for, if anybody's watching this that has a venue, I'm reaching out to different venues right now about actually. Remember in the old days where you would do a residency, and I would like to build up a residency of an original show every couple of months, maybe every 3, and put together a show, put it out, live stream it, also have it to where it's promoted. And we'll also be, since we're releasing singles, every show will be like a release show. So it's a big event type thing. So right now I'm looking for a venue that would want to partner with us to do something like that. I'm looking into different touring things. I'm reaching out to different people, seeing who's still doing things that I've worked with and that we've worked with in the past and that we've done stuff with in the past. So right now it's kind of like, okay, cool. The veil is lifting. Let's start putting out all the feelers. So that's what I'm doing currently, and kind of where we're at is kind of there. We can't wait though. And if something comes up, I want to do something outdoors. You got a backyard party? You want Craving Strange to come play your backyard party?
Oh.
Get in touch with me. We'll come play your backyard party. You know, you put a PA up and you let us sell some T-shirts. Put us in your backyard party, man.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
You know, we would love to do that. We'll come play acoustic in your garage. I don't care. Like we want to play for people. We want to play for people. We want to do it safely. We want to follow all the things. We want to be able to, you know, we have to be able to, unfortunately, we have to be able to figure out how we're going to do things like sell merch, you know, how we're going to do things like do all the handoffs and stuff. Luckily now it's looking like we're going to get back to some normalcy, but we couldn't do that before. Nobody wants to see Craving Strange full big live band while they're sitting at a table eating cheese sticks. You know, they don't want to see that, and I don't want to see that either. I don't want to do that. Yeah. You know, we're a live band. We're a live sweaty, loud. You know, something's going to get broken. Bad decisions are going to get made. Like
heads will get concussed.
You know,
yes.
We're like you guys. we're one of those bands. You know, like, you know, it's so we need that. We need that. That's our lifeblood. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
So everything we're doing now is just is keeping us on the table and keeping us alive. But we can't wait. We can't wait.
Oh my gosh!
To get back in front of people.
I mean, playing the Decay and Decadence show last weekend for me was great. I mean, you know, but like to get back on stage with the band and see the fans again, and you know, make new friends and you know, just do our thing. I mean, like Jimmy said, like we cannot wait. We're just so pumped that things are easing up and that, you know, but like Jimmy said, we want to be safe. We want to make sure that our friends are safe, our fans are following. You know, we care about everybody, every single person that comes to our show.
Absolutely.
We have such heart for, you know, it's not like just like, thanks for coming, play shirt, good night. You know, it's like we come out as soon as we're done, we leave our gear halfway out of the bag and just come out and we're like, hey man, yo, what's your name? You know, like we want to know you. We want to be your friend. We want to actually interact and not, you know, just like be like hey, you were at our show, cool, see you, you know, and just not reply to comments. And we want to be there. So like, we want to do it right. And once the timing is right and all four of us are like, yeah, now's the time, you could bet Craving Strange is going to tear some shit up.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You've never seen before. There's a lot of
we need like
frustration going on in
we need like 2 hours on stage.
Yeah, we need 2 hours of a fucking
Well,
fire extinguisher
like
and a
2 hours.
banana. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be 3 hours. Do something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll fucking
what?
play all
I remember
hours.
one night you were like, you know, we're going to do 2 hours nonstop. And I'm like, really? And you just went into it.
Yep.
Yeah. The rest of the band was looking at me like, really?
Yeah. You're like, yeah, come on, let's go. And I was just like,
Can I get a Red Bull, please?
and it was a really hot, humid night. And you guys, I mean, I was like, oh my God, you guys just did it. Like
Chris's first show.
My first show was 2 hours. We did we did 34 songs, I think it was. If you look at the set list, I was like, and we got to like song number 9 or 10 in the set list, and I'm like, wow, we barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
When you look at the paper, when you look at the set list when you're on stage, it's like, all right, we got 2 more songs, and it's like, no, flip it over. It's like, fuck. You know? Now I would give anything, you know what I'm saying, to like play double that. You know, it's like I want to play double that.
I miss that exhaustion of getting home at 5 o'clock in the morning and just falling into sleep, basically. Just
we're that band. We'll play long past when you want us to stop. Long past. Leave them wanting less.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing.
I miss being, you know, like playing so long, and then you're hanging out with your friends afterwards, maybe having a couple of drinks, and then you're like, shit, now I got to load up the car.
Yeah,
Helix. It's a way easier.
I'm a prima donna, man. I hire people. I'm like, dude, it's 100. Just put it in the fucking car.
I'm still carrying around. I'm carrying around 2x12s, and then if not, every once when we were doing the rail, it would always be like, oh, my penis is too small. I got to bring a 4x12. You know? Still,
dude, I have a mono case for 2 guitars. I throw that on my back, and then my Helix is in one hand, and then I've got my little monitor in the other hand, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Done.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Yeah.
And I can play. We could play a small venue with that. We could play a backyard party with that. We could play the garden with that, and it doesn't matter.
I remember
the garden in the back of the house.
what I personally love
I didn't
about
say
the
we
Helix,
were able to play the garden. I just said
A garden.
What I love about the Helix though is that when they plug in at the whatever show, when the sound guy plugs in, he can't fuck with the sound of the guitar.
Yep.
Whereas like when they put a mic in front of it, they'll kind of EQ it to make it sound what they think is good. So how we sound at the studio is exactly how we sound on stage, and I love that. There's
the consistency is the best.
Yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely.
Someone pointed out to me before I got it, one of the things that made me kind of get it was I was talking about like my tone in this, and you know, like tone is super subjective as it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's ideal tone is what they've built in their head based off of who they listen to. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's like Mike Ness and Jerry Cantrell. That's my
Right.
tone guys right there. And so I'm talking about it, and they go, "Well, you know that no crowd has ever heard what your amp sounds like, right?" And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Your amp is on stage. They put a mic in front of it, and then that mic'd thing goes through their board into their system, and then they hear it through those speakers. So they hear whatever that is.
Yeah.
No one has ever heard this almighty tone that you created, that you have in your studio." And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they haven't.
Very
And
true.
then it's like with a Helix, they hear exactly what I create, because I create it with the mindset of it needs to sound like it'll sound coming out of a giant PA and affected.
Yep.
It needs to sound like a record. So now it doesn't sound like an amp in the room with me when I'm playing, but now I know what a crowd is going to hear. So I know that anything that I do, I know how it's going to sound to them. So anything I thought was cool and no one ever heard, because it was based on the tone that was on the stage that was blasting into the back of my knees that I didn't hear anyway,
Yeah.
is now in front of me in a monitor, and I know exactly what they're hearing.
Right.
That blew my mind when I thought about it, and that made me get it.
You were sold
That
at that
immediately made
point.
me get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy sold me on the Helix, and I was like,
I remember that
push
day.
me. You're wrong. I need a head. I need to carry a 4x12 cabinet, and then after
I gotta
like,
push
doing that-
air.
Yeah, I gotta push air, and then
Yeah.
he dialed in really quick, like what I would think, you know, because we know each other for a long time. We have good ears for each other's like personal sound.
Yeah.
So Jim's like, he dialed something in really quick. He's like, "Yo, man, just throw your guitar in this and try it." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Try it." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Dick, try it." I'm like, "All right." So I plugged it in. That really didn't happen. All that no stuff. That's all for entertainment.
Yeah.
So I plugged it in, and I was like, "What's that?" And he goes, "And you don't need to carry a 4x12 cabinet. You don't need to carry a big head. You carry the pedal board, a little monitor, and your guitar, and you're good." I'm like, So
And you know how to keep
next day I
buying
went out and bought
equipment.
it.
Yeah.
The next day I called Sweetwater. I'm like, "Yeah, can you ship it?" And I just got it
Right.
and thanked him. I'm like, "Yay!" Now it's
You know
cool
how-
because like we trade like ideas for how to talk.
Well, yeah, now,
like, how to tweak
now I'm
it
calling
and stuff.
Frank, and I'm like, "What did you do to get
Right.
this?"
Right.
I locked myself in the studio for like a couple of weekends, and it just stayed like a total madman. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to navigate through it. I'm learning on the fly. I got to learn how to like, what if something happens? What do I do? How do I do this? You know, I need this, that, the other. And I built like this really cool system and that I'm proud of, you know, and Jim comes in with like, "Yo, check this out." And he builds things, and that's a creative thing of why we work so well together, because we bounce things off each other, you know?
It's like a brotherhood. You guys
Yeah.
are like know exactly how to play off each other with your own tones and make it work for the sake of the band, which a lot of people can't do. It's like
we've
you're
been
not
we've
trying
been
to
lucky.
compete with him, and he's not trying to compete with you. It's just kind of like it's the overall sound that's Craving Strange, and it just works so well.
That's cool that you said
Thank you.
that. I've always felt like the relationship, the working relationship with Jim and I, all the years that we've been together in and out of the band. But being in the band is just great because, you know, we encourage each other yo, try this, try that, in ways where it may seem like we're pissing each other off at the moment, but it's like the best possible way to get the best out of me and the best out of Jim is if we challenge each other in ways, because we've been together for so long, you know what I'm saying? And we've known each other for so long. And that's the blessing about that relationship. When you have longevity,
Yes.
you know, in a band, not just, you know, when you have longevity with that, like your guitar, with your singer, you know, the guy who creates everything, when you have that relationship and that trust, it's gold, man. It's gold for everyone, you know? So
Absolutely.
It works incredibly well.
thank you.
Incredibly
It all
well.
goes back to that mindset we were saying earlier of like the song being the most important thing. You know,
It is.
if we all
Okay.
go into it with the idea of the song being the most important thing, not only is everybody gonna get a moment to shine, but everybody's going to help everybody else have their moment as well. And you're going to get a better product out of it. If you walk into the situation with, "I got to get my shit in there," then you're walking into a situation where you're putting the song second. And if you're putting the song second, then what are you even working on it for?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And I hear that a lot. But you guys definitely probably one of the best live bands I've ever seen over and over and over
thank
again.
you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
every
very much.
show
Appreciate
is
that.
completely different. Set list changes on the fly, and I'm just like, how the fuck do these guys do this all the time? It's just amazing. And the energy.
They hate me for it. That's what they
I walk into the show. I'm like, yeah, we're going to open up with Awaken Alone. He's like,
the energy that comes off the stage and into the crowd is just incredible.
I gotta tell you, that was the biggest thing for me to get used to, was going to a show not knowing what we were going to play at that show and writing the set list at the show. That is the hardest part for me to get used to, was even though I know all the songs and I'm comfortable, it's just still that little bit of anxiety of like, oh shit, we're going to play that song? Ooh, okay.
But every time Jimmy would turn around and go, we're going to do this one, no one was kind of like, what? We're like, all right.
Oh, yes, we were, Lenny. Stop. I was like, you like Dirty Rock? Where the fuck's my slide? Oh, all right, fuck it. Let's just do it. You know, we improvise, you know?
So I wanted to ask you, going back a few years, you did something that U2, Bon Jovi couldn't do. You guys were invited to play China.
Oh, yeah.
How was that experience like, and how did that come about? That's pretty amazing.
Well, it's what's funny about that is the way we got that gig is we were playing a show in Pennsylvania. Actually, I believe it might have been at the Room, and I saw Vern in the Room here. The very first time, it might have been at the Room. I think we at least either the second or first show that this person saw us at was the Room, and the guy had come to see a different band, had never heard of us, and the band that he came to see had an off night, and we had an on night, and then he came and saw us again a couple of months later. Without letting us know. And he came and saw us a few times over the next year and would pull a different member of the band aside to talk to them after the show or before the show and just kind of talk to them, I guess, to find out if we were assholes or not. And he like totally put us through this whole thing to make sure that we were a band that he would want to work with and that he could like trust. So he saw us at least 4 or 5 times and talked to us all individually without ever letting us know that he was someone that worked for this thing, bringing bands to China. And then he approached us after that, and he was the one that booked us at the outdoor show where the power went out, and I was on the tables, and that seeing us do that sold him on it, because he was like, you guys are pro. And I was like, we figured that out on the fly. And he was like, no, because when we go there, I don't know what's going to happen, and you guys can handle anything. And then it was another probably year, almost 2, before we actually went, because there was the whole process of planning it and getting there and setting up the shows and all that kind of stuff. And then when we finally went, it was 2 weeks. And we had a show every other day. And so we were in a different town, and it was amazing to do it because we went and they treated us so well. They had a bus and a driver and like a guides for us that would take us around everywhere during the day and take us to, you know, when we got there was a dude with like a Craving Strange sign at the airport and all this kind of stuff. And we really we were treated extremely well. And the shows were super cool. And I recorded a song in Mandarin. I re-recorded Complicated in Mandarin. You can find it on Spotify now. And it's really poor Mandarin. I did my best phonetically, and sang it in Mandarin in China. And it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. It was humbling, and it was just like, I've never felt more like I made it in my life than at that moment. Just because I was like, the only reason that I'm here is because I wrote some songs. Like, and that's just from my head. Like it speaks for the band. Like the only reason we were there at all was because of music that we made. We weren't there because we knew someone in advance. We weren't there because we, went to go play there and set it up and stuff. We're there because someone saw us, liked what we did, thought it would work there, and took a chance on us and put their time and money into it. And we got to go there and like prove ourselves every night. And then we really got to see, you really see how good you are or how good you aren't when no one can understand you and if they still like you.
Wow. That was truly incredible.
Yeah, it's one of the most incredible experiences.
Is rock and roll music universal? Like, were they the same
absolutely.
in the States? Were they going crazy for American rock and roll? Or
absolutely.
That's the best feeling.
They loved it. They were super cool people. Everybody we met was awesome. The people that were coming to the shows were, they were getting into it, man. They were whoa and hey and all that stuff.
Wow.
Like they were doing it. They were having fun. Rock and roll is universal. Live music's universal, man. It's a rib cracking A, bro. That it's people understand it. People hear it and they understand it. People hear a drum beat and they understand it. People, the energy is infectious. They see nothing makes you have a good time like watching someone else have a good time. And then you start to be a part of the good time. And now you're both having a good time. And now someone over here sees you're having a good time. And now they're having a good time. And you don't need to speak the same language. None of that even matters, man. When you're talking music, it's like, if you're into it and they're into it, you just see each other eye to eye and you're like, you get it.
Yeah.
That is so cool, because that's one thing that you guys always brought to the table whenever you played, was like, you're having so much fun that people just get into it. And then it's just, there were many nights where everybody's head bopping to your music in the clubs.
Oh, man, that's the gig.
And that's like that's got to inspire you guys just to take what you're doing to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
It's very humbling. It's very humbling when you see someone singing songs and loud and like accurate. you know, and it's like, whoa. That brings the show to a whole, like you said, like a whole new level.
Yeah,
such energy.
Vern is asking me to tell you guys what cover we played on the tour of China. The cover that we played on the tour of China was we played Another Mistake by Revel 9. And we played that because we were coming back and we were going to be doing a show with Revel 9, and every band was going to be doing a Revel 9 song without telling DJ, because it was like, I can't remember if it was a release or an anniversary for them or something like that.
Okay.
And so nobody was telling him anything. So we were practicing it to get it working. And so we just played it all over China. So so I told DJ, I was like, yeah, man, we're just playing Revel 9 songs.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. So let's give a shout out to your website. It's cravingstrange.net, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Look at that. And what is there a universal link to grab the music, or are they just grabbing it from?
If you go on the website, like the links are there for everything, so you can do that. But if you don't surf around the net much, whatever you listen to stuff on, it's on there. Spotify, it's on there. Apple Music, it's on there. Google Play, it's on there.
MySpace.
YouTube, it's on there. MySpace is probably on there. I don't know. It's probably on there. It's on everything. Just keep in touch with us on all the social medias, our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the website, our YouTube page, strangerhoodtv.com. If you just hit that, it'll take you right to our YouTube page. And there you can see new videos from us, new music from us, videos from us individually doing all of our stuff. Drum videos from Chris, guitar videos from Frank. I'm doing acoustic stuff. We've got podcasts, everything on there. The videos for Ashes are going to be coming within the next. Frank's going to be done, and his is out in 3 weeks. So I'm going to put up a date. I'm going to put up a date on it. And it'll be live. It'll be live in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today. So 3 weeks from today. Today.
Oh, you throw the deadline. Oh, you throw. Oh, I see how you did that, guy.
3 weeks from tomorrow, because it's Thank Frank. It's Friday. It's going to be.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
So 3 weeks from tomorrow, there will all of our fans that took their time and joined us in the video are going to get to see themselves in the video that Frank is editing, and it's going to be awesome. And you'll get to see.
It's almost done. It's just has a little few tweaks, minor tweaks, and I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the videos. Like, I'm not a perfectionist. I like them to be interesting and entertaining, and I want to capture like every single special moment that had happened throughout that process. And sifting through hours and hours of video takes, there's a lot of I don't do drugs anymore, man. So there's no way I can fucking, I'm like, I'm running on orange juice, man. It's like, I can't, how fucking, but
vitamin C does so much.
Right. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So it's like, there's not enough coffee in the day to but we're making headway, folks.
That's why he's so clear-headed on it, and why it's totally going to be done in 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Can't you mute his microphone, Joey? What the fuck, man?
And the lyric video will be up shortly thereafter, and we'll all have videos up about it. And awesome. For everybody that's listened to the song, thank you guys so much for listening to it. The response already is been really overwhelming. It's been super cool. So thank you guys. That's awesome. Thank you for allowing us to do things a little bit differently.
Just let the playlist play, man, throughout the day.
Yeah.
And for anybody
even if you let it play. Even if you're at work and you're not allowed to play music, put the volume down. Let it play. Let us get some money.
Man, those Spotify plays. That's key right now. That's key in life right now.
Because it only takes 50,000 Spotify plays to get like a nickel, right?
Yeah, man. We need that nickel.
Crazy.
We need that nickel. That's a penny for each of us and one for band fund.
Well,
that's good stuff.
Let's not forget about the other single, Rise, that we put out a couple months ago too. That's still fairly fresh.
Yeah, don't sleep on that. That's new.
Absolutely.
That's out there.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, guys. So we'll say goodnight. I want you guys to stay right there. We'll sign off.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
We really
Thank you guys so much.
Love seeing you guys.